Good afternoon. I am Nick Raber with JKLMNOP, Ephesus News, home of one of the seven wonders of the world. We are live here with John, and we just want to do an interview, get to know you a little bit more. So, John, tell us how you came to this position of overseeing churches. I thought you were a fisherman.
Well, yes, in early on when I was younger, I was a fisherman. Our whole family, we were in that together. And then I met a person that became my best friend. His name is Jesus. And turned out that he ended up being a son of God, and that kind of changed everything. And so I'm here trying to oversee some churches who are following the Son of God.
Okay. So we understand you've gotten back into writing a little bit. We're wondering, what are you working on, and is this going to be another New York Times bestseller like the first one where you followed this Jesus around?
This is going to be a lot different, Nick. Yes, that first one was the story of Jesus' life and recognizing how he died for our sins and made it so that we can all have fellowship with God the Father. This is totally different. It's well, in some ways it's a written sermon, not really even a letter. I'm not very good at writing letters, but it's actually more of a sermon, I think.
Okay, good. So, John, tell us, what is your motivation for writing these new writings that you have coming out?
Well, it turns out that we have some people who are denying that Jesus is the Son of God, denying that he is God's chosen one to come to save the world. And that just gets me all fired up because this is my best friend and he is the Son of God. And so I just want people to know the truth about who Jesus really is.
Good, good. Now we've seen a first draft of your first sermon, and you mentioned fellowship several times. So tell us a little bit more your thought process behind the word fellowship.
Well, by fellowship, I'm talking about being close to other Christian believers, but I'm also talking about the participation in God's fellowship, which is God's redemptive plan for all of humanity, trying to make sure we are participating with him in allowing everyone the opportunity to be saved. And so fellowship is so important, the fellowship with God, with Jesus the Son, and among fellow believers.
Good, good. Again, this is, we're live here with John with the beautiful Mediterranean Sea right behind us. I am Nick Raber with JKLMNOP, Ephesus News, home of one of the seven wonders of the world. Next up, you'll see Carl with weather.
Well, Nick, let me tell you what's going on in our weather forecast. Here we have in our corner of the world, we found out that there is a locust storm coming in off of close to the Arabian Sea and coming up the channel. We will really have to be careful watching that. And then also off of the Sahara, we also have a dust storm coming in. I think they'll probably collide, but I think our Artemis contestants will be just fine. Nick, go ahead. Back to you.